Hi folks, we're talking about heart health and the importance of that amazing organ that resides in our chest that pumps blood all over our body. Can't do it without carrying oxygen, carrying nutrition, all of the things that our body needs to function 100%. What do you do to keep your heart healthy?
Well, way back when, before I decided that I was going to become a little bit more active, I used to get heart flutters and I didn't know what they were at the time, and I actually had a panic attack in the middle of the cinema and I thought I was having a heart attack or something. It was just fluttery, and then from then on sometimes it would go boom, boom, and then it would go back to normal, and it was scary because I didn't know what it was. And I remember shopping once and then I was like, oh my God, what's happening? You get the sweats and it was just horrible. Anyway, so then this fancy new gym opened up near me, and I'd sort of dabbled in a little bit of exercise knowing it was good for me, but it's not really that fun.
Dabbled in exercise, I love it. Love it.
Yeah, I never figured that I was the kind of fit person, hated going into rebel sport, that kind of thing. Anyway, joined a gym, and then it was just a little bit after I joined, I just noticed that this heart flutter thing was less and less. And then I do exercise every day just because I've grown to love it and I feel so much better. It's more about listening to my body and how I feel better when I do it, as opposed to dragging my feet to the gym going, I hate this. I just noticed that I felt better, and if I feel better, then it's good.
Yeah, and your heart obviously loves you for it.
Yes, and now I very rarely get a heart flutter. Every now and then
I walk in the room.
Yeah, of course. And then I just think, well, I have to put that down to just using my heart more. I know that sounds silly, but the more you use it, as in making it beat faster by doing exercise.
And that is absolutely true. It is a workout for your heart. So to apply a little bit of demand on your heart by having it pump a little bit harder at certain times, going upstairs, up hills, that sort of thing, it really does train your heart. It's a muscle. It trains it to become stronger. So it is a really important organ.
Use it or lose it.
Absolutely. So it is important to do that. So what sort of things do you do from a
I like to mix it up a little bit of cardio, a bit of weights training. Even when you're doing, low cardio or weights, or even if you're doing yoga, you're still getting the blood flow and your heart going. Absolutely. So, I think to mix it up so you don't get bored, but, a little bit of cardio to get that speed walking. You just walk like you're in a rush, bit of jog.
Yeah, and Em has a tendency to not take the easy road out too. We tend to park a little bit further away from, the supermarket and that sort of thing, and she likes to carry her bags instead of using the trolley, and all of that puts an added demand on her body, which is really important to being able to maintain your heart health, because unfortunately it's one of the highest killers of heart disease in our country and many other countries.
It's like 1 in 4.
Important to maintain good heart health. Now I want to talk on that a little bit, because being able to have good perfusion of our organs and our muscles, etc., with good healthy food, obviously, if we can break down the nutrition so that it's in easily utilizable building blocks for our body to repair itself and to function as best that it can, we need a good healthy circulatory system, because the heart then pumps all of that beautiful nutrition all the way around our body. It is super, super important to make sure that you're well hydrated, because the cells, which are the non-liquid part of our blood flow that flows through, requires some sort of fluid, plasma that's called, to be able to push those cells through so that they can float around and be independent of one another. If there's not enough fluid or plasma and there's more viscosity to our blood, it's really thick, those cells bump into each other and they can cause issues with being able to transport the oxygen and the nutrition to where they need to be. So if we can maintain good hydration, as well as getting our heart to pump, to practice and to train it so that it is a healthy muscle, that is also a really good tip to being able to help. Now there are some things.
That'll be your favourite.
Yeah, 100%. Love my water. Absolutely. So one of the things that I have learned in my research of late, and certainly always learning, absolutely always learning, is the importance of the actual vessels themselves. So the heart as an organ is extremely important, but if the vessels, so the vehicle for the blood to travel all over our body, if those vessels aren't functioning properly, we end up with some significant issues, and that's where heart disease develops, with plaques forming, atherosclerosis within our little arteries that supply all of our organs, including our heart and our brain, two very important organs that we don't want to have any blockages in. There are muscles around those vessels. So the arteries have got muscles in them, and training those by having our blood flowing at faster and slower rates, which training like Em does really does help that, there is something called nitric oxide, which is available in foods that allows some flexibility. And if you can imagine, I sort of imagine a little bit like a jellyfish, the ability to sort of to dilate and to contract, to be able to increase pressure or decrease pressure within our vessels, which is where the term blood pressure comes from. Nitric oxide is really important. Now that can be found in something particularly heavily in beetroot. So Em's developed these amazing, she's got these amazing products, Plantum Essentials. The detox product, although we often talk about it as being able to help cleanse the liver, it is exceptionally good for people that have issues with their heart health, particularly blood pressure issues, because the amount of beetroot in that and the nitric oxide that you get inadvertently through consuming a scoop of this every day will massively increase your body's ability to vasodilate and constrict as you require. So if you've got low blood pressure, don't panic. It will allow tightening of the vessels as required and dilation for those of you who have got the high blood pressure issue or hypertension. So it is a brilliant product. The other little tip with this little guy is it increases the oxygen carrying capacity of your blood, which is really important when it comes to energy and being able to perfuse the body with oxygen, which is really important for healthy function. Now, there's a couple of other things that need to be mentioned when we talk about heart health and atherosclerosis, which is leading to heart disease, and that is inflammation. If we have a lot of inflammation within our body, it leads to the formation of or damage to the internal lining, the endothelial lining of our vessels, and that can contribute to plaque formation, and that will then end up causing high blood pressure, and potentially eventually that clot can move across, and as a result you may end up with a stroke or a heart attack or something of that nature. So it is really important to make sure that we lower our inflammation so that we don't end up with these inflammatory responses that contribute to atherosclerosis and heart disease, and that's where Em's anti-inflam comes in. The amazing product in here, or the hero, is turmeric. Turmeric needs to be taken with black pepper to allow it to be bioavailable, and it must have a healthy fat source, because a healthy fat source will assist the body in being able to push it into the cells, so that this amazing turmeric product can assist with reducing any type of inflammation, which includes what's happening inside your vessels. And the last thing, which really makes a massive difference to our blood vessels, is to make sure that we don't have any free radicals floating around in our system. We've heard the term free radicals, we've heard about antioxidants, but what happens when free radicals are left in our body? These are toxins that our body, they're like an electron that bounces around and damages things, including the vessel walls. And that's when we get cholesterol coming in to line the vessels, again creating this atherosclerosis. The thing that can assist with preventing these low density lipoproteins, the LDLs that we call bad cholesterol, from being a problem, is to bombard our body with healthy antioxidants. Now that comes from fresh fruit and vegetables. So instead of bombarding yourself with those, you can easily just add a scoop of greens, which is extremely high in antioxidants, to your diet, and you will find that it will help prevent these free radicals from bouncing around causing damage in our body, because antioxidants come in and they take on that electron, which stops them from bouncing around causing damage to our body, called oxidative stress. So that is the way that you can help your heart in more ways than we know. Exercise is important, don't get me wrong, and I'm pretty sure you know hydration is important for your blood, but when it comes to really getting into the nuts and bolts of the physiology of the body, which is what we know best, it is making sure that you use whole foods to be able to assist your body with nitric oxide to allow the vessels to dilate, healing the body of these free radicals by taking greens with antioxidants, and of course reducing inflammation. Inflammation doesn't just affect your heart too, remember, apart from the aches and pains that we know about, inflammation is really the root of all disease and illness. So being able to make sure that you counteract having all of those, and you all know that with the Plantum Essentials there's also a prebiotic product which is really good for assisting with your gut health. And our gut health helps us to actually absorb the nutrition that we then push through our bloodstream, which then arrives at all of our organs, our muscles, and makes us healthy and allows us to repair. So make sure that you check out those Plantum Essentials products, especially if you're really struggling with your diet. It's a really easy way to make sure that you're getting what your body needs to be as healthy as possible. So keep your heart pumping, do what you need to do. One last thing I want to ask you. You know, we often associate heart and love. What do you love?
What do I love? Oh, so many things.
Hot water, just saying.
I love kale. I love our community.
Well, that 100%.
Yeah, I think they're amazing. Like every time we jump online and the comments that we get and how people share their stories, I love it. It's great. And people help each other in the group. If you're not part of our Life Balance with Dr Kez and M on Facebook, jump on. There's plenty of people in there who will answer questions and share stories.
Super supportive. There's a lot of love in that group, that is for sure, 100%. We do really appreciate you guys. We do love you to the end of the moon and back, because without you guys asking us what you want us to talk about on our lives and being able to tailor what we're doing, blogs, etc., to what you guys want and what you want to learn. I love that you're wanting to learn. That makes us feel good that we're empowering you with knowledge that's going to help you on your therapeutic journey. So thank you for joining us. We really appreciate you. We love you to bits. Thanks for having us on your therapeutic journey.